What's going on, gamers? Landon D here, Tekken competitor, content creator, and coach from the US. And today, I'm going to teach you how to utilize the power of the Diablo Jim. Before we start, be sure to subscribe to DashFight for more character guides and check out their website for all things FGC. Now let's get into Diablo Jim's best neutral tools. Number 1, Electric Wind God Fist. Now this move right here does basically everything. It's your all-purpose tool. It's the main Mishima launcher. All three of them have it. What makes it unique is that it's the normal hit launcher, +5 on block, and it's got really good tracking to his left. It's basically your all-purpose tool for launching people in the air and doing a bunch of damage. The only downside to it is it requires a just frame input. You mess it up, you get a Wind God Fist and it does less damage. And it's -10 on block if you mess it up. Sometimes you get down forward too. That's the move you want to get if you do mess it up. But sometimes you get a crouch jab, sometimes you don't get anything at all. To get the just frame input, you want to do forward, have a neutral, down, down, forward, and then you want to press the down, forward, and the 2 at the same time, or try to at least. Basically like a just frame DP. Moving on, Hell Sweep. This is the reason Diablo Jim is Diablo Jim. Sometimes he doesn't even need to use this move because people are so afraid of getting hit by it. Now what makes it scary, it's a normal hit, low launcher. You can basically end neutral with it and take people all the way to the wall just like that. He has 2 versions of it. You can do this Hell Sweep or the launching version. And this Hell Sweep is really what makes him so scary. And it's basically the theme of the character. Now to give you some mids to tie in with that Hell Sweep so you don't just die, because the Hell Sweep is launch punishable on block and it doesn't track to his right, so they can step it to their left. So make sure you don't get it blocked, but you still have to do it a lot. So the mids to do, 4-4-2, pretty good, safe knockdown mid. I like to spam this move a lot because it's just such a high reward knockdown. It just pushes them to the wall, knocks them down. I do stuff like that over and over again. The pushback on block means you're still left at like a pretty good situation. You won't get immediately missed right afterwards. And it's one of my favorite moves on Diablo Jim. You can do like a 4-4-2 into a jab right afterwards to like catch people like coming in immediately. That's what I usually do most of the time. So on counter hit, it sends them all the way to the wall. If you ever land that on counter hit, just hold forward and you'll do a running tackle like that. The next mid is your close range mid. 4-4-2 was your mid-range mid that you want to use. Back forward 2, Laser Scraper is your close range mid. And this mid is really here so you can track people, because Diablo Jim doesn't really have good tracking to his right. So when people step to their left, it's going to be hard. A lot of Diablo Jim's pokes whiff. So this move is really good mid to use when you want to make sure people stand still. And it has a Rekka string on it, back forward 2-1-2. But I'll get into more of how to utilize that string later in the video. Your longer range mid is up forward 4. It is nerfed this patch out in the open, but at the wall it has a lot more utility. That's just how they changed them in season 5. But you'll see how 4-4-2 is gonna whiff in that range, but up 4-4 is gonna hit. So whenever you need like a longer range mid, up forward 4 is really gonna come in handy right there, and it's got pretty good pushback on it when hit. Another mid you really want to utilize and get really good at using is Diablo Jim's while standing 2. Like I mentioned before, he doesn't have good tracking to his right, so while standing 2 is a walker and it traps the Devil Jin's right. It is -12, so they can punish it, but the fact it combos with his launching hell sweep and while standing 2 is a really important fundamental you want to get good at doing when you play Devil Jin. What makes a good Devil Jin player is how well they utilize using while standing 2 from either their crouch dash or mixing it up with their hell sweep. The next move I want to go over, it's kind of 3 moves in one. They kind of have the same purpose. Devil Jin's 1 jab, his down forward 1, and his while standing 4. His 1 jab sends him very far, so it's something you really want to use. Devil Jin has a lot of generic moves, so you really want to make use of all of them because they're so good, and I'll get to why they are in just a bit. So all these potes, 1 jab, down forward 1, and while standing 4, they all leave you +8 on hit. And the next move I want to talk about is back 4, and it combos in with all those 3 moves. The reason why, because back 4 is a frame trap for jab, down forward 1, and while standing 4 on hit, and it's the start of his game plan. If Devil Jin lands any 3 of these potes, you want to throw out a lot and neutral whenever they come into range. If you land any of them, you can frame trap them with back 4, and it's a safe mid counter hit launcher, and you get a full combo. So back 4 is a really good move to use as a frame trap. It's also really good to use on Oki because it flops over like that, and it gives you really good Okizumi, and you can follow up with a Schmitz like that, you know, get swept. So the next move you want to look out for is down 3. Now the reason why is, I know it looks not very threatening, but having only 1 load you use and it's launch punishable doesn't really seem in your favor. So when you need a much safer load to throw out and you don't want to die for it, down 3 is going to be really good because it's only -12. You're not going to really die for it unless you're fighting Akuma or something. So you really want to utilize this if you just want to get in a little damage on them. 14 damage, not too bad, you know. And the last low I want to go over is down bad 2. It doesn't have as much use as it did last game, but it does have some utility. It's still a high crush, which means it'll go under high attacks. So if someone's doing jabs or has a high property, it will go under that attack clean. Like, it's a system in the game. It'll crush the attack and it'll go under it. So if anyone's doing a lot of high attacks, down bad 2 is really good to throw out. Down bad 2 gives you a guaranteed follow-up. You can shoot the laser at them like that with down 1+2 while they're on the ground. And since I love you so much, I'm going to show you this right here. If you land down bad 2 on counter hit at the wall, you can do a while standing 2 right after, and it breaks the balcony. But don't let anyone know I showed you that. All right, keep that a secret. All right, I'm gonna go over the moves one final time, just in case you forgot. That's Electric Wind God Fist, Hell Sweep, forward forward 2, back forward 2, your close range mid, up forward 4, your longer range mid, while standing 2, your cash out big money, 1 jab, down forward 1, while standing forward, your quickest, fastest pokes. You really want to utilize those. And then if you land any of those 1 hit, you want to frame trap with back 4. It's really, really good if you catch people mashing afterwards. And your safer low, if you really don't want to die from health sweep, down 3. And I basically play the game using all those moves. Despite how hard people say Devil Jin is to play, he has a surprisingly simple game plan. Out here playing neutral when you're moving around, you can just fish for launches with Electric Wind God Fist. When you get in, you can land either a jab, a down forward 1, or while standing 4 on hit, and then immediately frame trap with back 4 to catch them mashing. After you frame trap with back 4, the next time you land any of those potes on hit, you can mix them up with either a wave dash into a hell sweep or a wave dash into a 4-4-2. And if you're really good, you can do couple wave dashes, and then electric them out of them trying to hit you back. It's best not to complicate this any more than it needs to be. You either run up to them and you do a mid, or you run up to them and you do a low, and they're both really high reward moves to do to people over and over again. Don't be afraid to get your health sweep blocked, because it lets you know when they're going to block your low, so you can do the low just at a later time. And if they're afraid of having to get mixed and they start mashing out in neutral, you just whiff punish with Electric Wind God Fist, and then you do it again. You either do a mid or you do a low, and then you do a low again, or you go mid this time, and you do that over and over until they die. Now, Devil Jin isn't a really big string heavy character, but he does have two really important strings I want to go over. The first one is his Flash Punch combo. Not only is it his pin frame punish, but it's a hit confirmable jab knockdown. So what I like to do is jab in the 1-1 a lot to catch people mashing after my jab, and if 1-1 hits, I can confirm into the 2. Look how delayable it is. 1-1-2. So it's very hit confirmable string. Next string I want to talk about is back forward 2-1-2. It's Laser Scraper. This is a really good record to stop people from mashing after back forward 2. It's a really fun string to do, and I catch people mashing after getting hit by the first 2 hits a lot. What makes this string cool is that on the second hit, if it counter hits, the final hit is guaranteed. Be careful though, because if you're just throwing out the final hit, because they can step the final hit to their right. And also, there's a lot of characters in the game with very damaging parries, so be careful just throwing this out. But can really do like a mid and then health sweep, and then 2 hits, then do a mid again, and then do first 2 hits, and then health sweep. It's a really important string. With Devil Jin, you're really only going to be using 3 different combo routes off each of your launchers. The first one is off of Electric Wind God Fist. That combo is tried and true B&B. It's gotten me through a lot of tough times. The next one is off of his Hell Sweep. Now, a trick to making sure you hit this part of the combo right here is taking use of the button buffering system. So whenever you go for a Hell Sweep, you hold down the 4 button and then press 1. Make sure you keep the 4 held down so you don't mess up and get something like a standing 4 when you go for the Hell Sweep combo. And the last one is off of his counter hit back 4, and off of this launcher right here if you need a 15 frame punish. And that's his combos. Now, when you reach the wall with Devil Jin, or you land a wall splat, there's only 2 real main wall combos you really want to aim to do. And the first one is his Laser Scraper. You want to make sure you delay the last hit of that, so you get the low wall hit for 4 extra damage. If you don't, it's going to look something like this. You don't want that. If you have trouble timing that, or you don't have time to run up and do back forward 2, you can do 1-2 in the back 4, and that's pretty good Okizumi. Funny enough, Devil Jin's biggest strengths are his biggest weaknesses at the same time. So Electric Wind God Fist is his best move, but come time to when you need to land it to win a match, you're gonna mess it up. So he's got an execution requirement. Another thing he has is he's kind of a cash in, go hard or go home type character, meaning he can't really play small. He has to do really big moves to really get something out of it. And while this may seem nice and fun because they're still powerful, if any of them get guessed right on their timing, because they're all the same speed, you're going to take equal, if not more, damage than if you went with it. Which is why it's so important to change your timing up very often when you play Devil Jin. So he sort of feels like a manual transmission Tekken character, where you have to do everything. If you want to mix them up right there, you have to mix them right there. Down bat 2 isn't really going to be used to mix people up because it's actually reactable. And finally, you have to play a lot of defense with Devil Jin. It's gonna feel pretty bad whenever you have to play defense, because you're gonna have to like experience everything a character has to do in their kit to stop you. When a lot of other characters have things built into their kit that makes it so they don't have to deal with other characters, but Devil Jin is really gonna have to deal with whatever another character is gonna throw at him. And it feels kind of bad sometimes, but it's the price to pay for all of this power. He does have like panic moves like this or up 4, but those are also come with equal risk, is what I'm saying. He's kind of a double-edged sword of a character. Alright, that covers just about everything. You can also check out all the things shown in this video in the text version via the link in the description. If you like this video, please leave a like or comment below with your thoughts. Thanks for watching.